Alright, so this is gonna be a replay of me against Rom, Grandmaster player on EU. As you can see, I end up being the Khala, while Rom ends up being the Covenant, which was easy because he actually picked the Covenant. I went on from 5 faction and ended up as the Khala. So in case this is the first game you see of HeptaCraft, this is the Covenant, one of the more experimental factions. Let's start with 2 tech trees ready to go. There's your Teldarin mothership, which can build Teldarin unit structures and later build hybrid structures, and also warp in your Teldarin units, while your Möbius units can be built from the SCVs. The Khala faction that I'm playing in this game is pretty similar to Brood War Protoss. It has one new unit that you will see in action in this game, and one that you know from Legacy of the Void that you will also see in action. Let's get to that later. So far not much happening. Möbius Magazine, these are the supply depots for the Möbius, for the Covenant faction, and Rom starts with what is also my favorite opening with the Covenant. He goes straight for the Teldarin tech tree and starts building his first devotee. This is a good idea because all the Teldarin units are really cost efficient for the Covenant. The thing is, you can always only have one mothership, so their production is always limited. So it's a good idea to keep your mothership pumping out those Teldarin units. At the same time, Rom is getting a Möbius compound, the central production facility for all Möbius units. Over here, in the purple corner, more stuff that you're more used to probably, just the gateway, and you can see standard Protoss units, Dragoons, Sentries. These are basically like medics, they are mobile shield batteries, and repulsors. You will shortly see one of these in action. These are the Khala harassment units. They are really strong, but they cost 15 Terracine, so you can only have a couple at the start. As you can see, Terracine is automatically accumulating for both players. In the meantime, and I missed it. The first devotee actually got into my base and was delayed a bit by the stasis field ability from the Nexus. Yeah. Devotee, very strong unit, very fast and strongest Zealot type unit in the game, but against a couple of probes, a Zealot and a Sentry, there's not much he can do. So for now, he decides to run. At the same time, building some warbots to continue this rush. Well, here I'm making my first repulsor. Rom now definitely sees that the early pressure will not be paying off. As you can see, the repulsor has an attack that actually pushes back units. So here I get it on the other side of his units to be able to push them towards my units and kill them. Very strong, only works against non-armored units though. But very strong harassment unit, this repulsor. Like I said, cost 15 Terracine, so at this point in the game, 1 is the maximum number that I can have of these. Right. Small skirmish here, counter pressure. As you can see, warbots are able to shoot while they're moving. They are not a really strong unit, but if you abuse their mobility, they can certainly hold their own, especially against melee units. They have an upgrade that increases their speed. Not the necessary tech yet on Rom's side. So in the meantime, while this pressure was going on, I expanded to my natural and also started researching Singularity Charge You might remember this upgrade from Brood War, it's the Dragoon range upgrade. More pressure going on here, but now there's too many warbots and I have to run. Able to pick off this devotee while running away though. And here on top of the ramp, the Dragoons can certainly hold their own. In HeptaCraft there's a high ground advantage, so if units have to shoot up at units standing on higher ground, their attack rate is reduced by 30%, so in that situation these 5 warbots certainly had no way of getting on top of this ramp. This makes the game a lot more positional, of course. So, third gateway coming up, not much tech otherwise yet. While Rom being greedy, taking the gold expansion here. And there he's getting that warbot speed upgrade. Certainly one of the best upgrades to get early on. Trying some pressure with warbots, but now I have a repulsor again, and that unit is really strong tactically because it stops his units from firing if I push them back, so he has to run again. As you can see, there's lots of skirmishes. That's normal in HeptaCraft because it's very easy to engage and disengage from battles. It's not building up a huge club of units and throwing them at each other and hoping you have more. Units lost pretty even, but my first expansion is getting online. As you can see in HeptaCraft, expansions only have 7 mineral patches and 1 geyser, while all your natural bases have 12 patches and 2 geysers. This makes income curves much more smooth and makes the game less easily decided. So even if you're down in probes, you're down in expansions, it's much harder to be killed by an opponent. So what we have here, the droids, they are tier 1.5 support units for the Covenant. As you can see, not much damage being done by these. Low fire rate, longish range though. What makes them strong is not only their ability to temporarily turn into a detector, which is not really needed against the Khala until they get arbiters, but nano repair. And right now, he's starting his nano repair up it, so then they can heal each other, which of course makes them stronger. Still, they are not the most efficient combat units. Always a good idea to have a couple of them if you're building lots of mechanical units. So we have warbots, droids and devotees for Rom, and the pure Dragoon army so far. And there's the Colossus coming up. That's actually the reason I picked this replay, because I really wanted to show you the HeptaCraft Colossus in action. And that was the first game that I really got the Colossus to work how I wanted it to. Colossi in HeptaCraft are everything but attack move units. As you can see, first of all, it's huge. Second of all, it doesn't have a normal attack. It can't aim move at all. Instead, it can deploy an attack that is permanent. It's kind of like a Liberator, with the difference being that first of all it does friendly damage, so you have to be really careful in microing these. Here you can see it in action. It takes a little bit time to actually create this fire field, and then all units that walk through here will be massively damaged. So this is more of a zone control unit. Think of it like a replacement to force fields. Yeah, now they're caught on fire, as you can see. It's enough to kill these warbots outright. It's also, of course, awesome to wipe out probe lines. That was the defensive ability for the Covenant in action. It's more of a tool against small harassers, though certainly not enough to beat back this army. In the meantime, 2 predators are running around and actually got into my base, killing lots of workers. 24 workers killed for Rom, 18 kills on one Predator. These are, you might remember them from the Wings of Liberty campaign. They can also jump cliffs now, and they're really, really fast. They do concussive damage though, so they basically only damage light units, and they also cost terracine, so you can't mass them. But in the meantime, this is a little bit, as you can see, like a siege tank push. Two Colossi covering each other, slowly advancing with their fire fields. Dragoons have to be careful not to walk into the fire. But certainly a very strong combination. I gotta say, Rom is a much better player than me. As I said, he's a Grandmaster from EU, and that's, I think, one of the only games I ever won against him. That's probably because he never went up against Colossi and didn't know the right counterplay. Of course, they're very vulnerable to air. Covenant have a really strong anti-air unit, which probably would have countered them. But still, it was cool to see them in action. And that's the GG. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the game. If you like the game, go to www.HeptaCraft.com, find other players on our Discord channel, and enlarge the community. Thanks for watching.